India versus Pakistan. Just trying to get your attention. India versus Pakistan. India versus Pakistan. But before we go to that age-old rivalry, today we have to tackle another age-old rivalry. A rivalry that is as old as my friends, as my friendship with my...
Well recovered.
Yeah.
A rivalry that is older than the current existence of India versus India and Pakistan.
That is true, actually. How old is that rivalry, sir? England and Australia?
1877.
1877. And when did they first start sending
Convicts.
outsourcing cricketers?
They were around the same time.
Around the same time. Okay, great. Hi, you're watching Cricbuzz Live, where we give you history lessons as well. I'm Gaurav Kapur. With me, Bhattacharjya and Harsha Bhogle. And the reason we give you history lessons is because we've been part of a lot of it. Just how old we are. That's right. Just count the rings under our feet and you'll be able to tell exactly. But yeah, this rivalry is perhaps even older than that. I'm ready. I'm ready for this, Joy. I'm ready for this. This is, I feel like this is one of those spicy ones that
we've
been waiting for.
It's on the same place. This is the place where these two have played a World Cup final. About, 14 years back? Yeah, 2010.
And where England discovered to their great joy that they were allowed to win a World Cup.
Yeah, exactly. They've never won one before that.
Naughty. I like it. That's right. Paul Collingwood's team, wasn't that?
Right.
That's right.
Kevin Peterson was player of the tournament, I think.
Yeah, it was
Remember, Lumb and Keyswetter, they just went boom boom at the start.
Michael Lumb.
Lumb and Craig Keyswetter. That was a time when to play for England, you had to be South African.
That's right. Stop that anyway. But I think now South Africa needs some England players because of what's happening with South Africa right now. You just told us it's 3 for 3.
I think it was. Yeah, it was 3 for 2 and we went on air, so they've probably lost a couple more. Joy, just another history of England and the landings till I check the score.
Just again. And South Africa versus who? Again.
Yeah, but
again.
And who scored the runs for Netherlands? Again, a South African.
Oh, Lord.
Sybrand Engelbrecht.
So look, the whole point is it's always started from the Boer War. No? If you look at it, the Netherlands, it's people from the Netherlands who went and settled in South Africa. So they are the original country. They are the home country, man.
And
so they're always,
by the way, this is...
And Afrikaans draws a lot from Dutch.
The war he's talking about is not B-O-R-E. This much also we won't go into history, don't worry. Well, England are playing Australia today, and of course this is going to be a great encounter. It's happening in Barbados, of course, this game. And both teams, would you say, I mean, it's tough to call, right? I mean, both teams coming on the back of, one's won one, one's won the other. They're both coming off the back of, they've been strong in T20 cricket. If you were to pick a favourite, straight off the bat, if you were to pick a favourite in today's game?
I'd pick England.
You would?
I'd pick England.
Why?
Because I just think it's a very contemporary batting lineup. I'd actually qualify that by saying on a really good wicket, I'd pick England.
Okay.
Because if you look at the way they bat, all of them, down the order, you start with Buttler, Salt, Jacks, Bairstow, Moeen, Livingston, Brook. They just keep on going.
Boom, boom, shake the room. That's the kind of batting they do, right?
Yeah, and then you go down to 8. If Chris Jordan plays, Jordan 8, Archer 9, they'll just keep batting all the way down.
Yeah.
And on a good track, most days they'll give you 200. I don't know how they'll adjust their game to this one. But I just think there's a lot of specialist T20 skills residing in that team.
England, of course, have won the toss and have decided to bowl first. So is that perhaps the reason? Not sure what the surface exactly what it would be.
Yeah, no.
Let just Australia bat first.
Yeah, just never sure of it. And when you're not sure completely of the conditions, remember, they haven't actually batted. There was one match and they would be a bit worried because they gave away 19 10-odd overs.
Yeah. So this one, where is this?
Against Scotland. Against
Scotland.
Did I say it right? Against Scotland. Against Scotland.
Love the accent, yeah.
But my point is that I feel that this is actually, Harsha is picking England as favourite. For me, this is the most underwhelming championship side.
Yeah.
I mean, they've just won a title 2 years back, but they don't look as if they're champions right now. I mean, maybe it's the hangover of the 50 over World Cup and all. Australia looked the more informed side in that sense, though they had a very good couple of matches against Pakistan, the 2 matches that were played.
Yeah.
But I think Australia looks much more the informed side, the side that is has a core which is really solid. So for me, in fact, I feel England are slightly underdogs, and that's strange considering they are actually defending champions.
Well, the thing is, they've had a rained-out game, which is why this game has become really important. Like, obviously, the way the groups are made, you'd think, oh, easy peasy. Of course, this group is designed for Australia and England to just go through. But, Harsha, it's not as easy as that, is it?
No, because Scotland are on 3.
Yeah.
Should England lose today,
Yeah.
the best England can do is get to 5.
Correct.
Scotland will get to 5 because there's Namibia, Oman. They've won one of those. They've beaten Oman, I think.
Yeah.
They'll beat Namibia, whatever. They'll get to 5. So Scotland and England could tie at 5. At the moment, it's 0.736. Anybody who's worked 1 year on the IPL knows that you talk about NRR first.
Yep. True.
So it's 0.74 versus 0. England lose today. Most likely the net run rate will go into negative.
Yeah.
And then they've got 2 matches
Yeah.
to not only win 4 points, but to bludgeon the opposition, which they can. So
It is quite crazy because if they both end on 5 points, then, and of course Australia runs away, that means that one of them will stay in Europe and one of them will leave. I'm sorry, one of them will stay in. Sorry, Joy, I said it wrong.
That is absolutely brilliant. Very cool.
I said that wrong, sorry.
But
One
if
of them will
Scotland
stay in the World Cup and one will leave.
if Scotland qualifies ahead of England, you want to be in Edinburgh then.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I want to be in Edinburgh every day. Trust me, I've been to Edinburgh. You want to be in Edinburgh just every day. But this is what Jonny Bairstow said before the game. They are not thinking about what we have termed here as scenarios.com, right? So he's saying a win is a win. So that's what we're looking at. They're not even looking at if we lose, what happens. He says, we just want to win. And this is tournament cricket and it's part and parcel. At the end of the day, the other 2 games that we've got post this are must-win games. So, yeah, it's good for momentum. It'll be good for confidence. But at the same time, if that doesn't happen, then it's not a derailer to the group.
You did very well to read through that whole thing because while you were reading it, I was trying to make sense out of it.
He's been very British. It's been politically correct. He's been like, oh, we're only thinking about winning. But if we don't win, it's fine as well.
It's a lot of sentences to say nothing.
I mean, giving the amount of derailings, it's about train spotting, man. Everything is about railing, derailing.
That's right.
We're on, we're off. Is it the Howrah station? No, it's Edinburgh actually. It's Flying Scotsman. What is
This has been a bit of Johnny, yes, Papa, and no Papa, and maybe Papa also.
You're killing it today.
Just don't really know what's going to happen. All right, let's have, before the playing 11, all right, this is the one question I want to ask. Because this is, because Joy knows the rules of everything. So when it comes to franchise cricket, right, they're playing in Barbados. How many domestic players are England allowed to play with? And how many international players? Because they've got 3 domestics, haven't they?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, they've got Jordan, Jofra, Archer, and Phil Salt, who went to school in Barbados.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so you're allowed to play 3 domestics then.
And not only that, not West Indies also, Barbados specifically,
That's right.
which is a tiny island. It's not very big either.
So when Jofra Archer was told you can't play cricket, we'll have to monitor how much you're doing. By the way, Jofra Archer said the only thing I haven't been told so far is what time I have a shower.
Yeah.
He said, my entire tournament play has been mapped out for the next 6 months. So what did he do? He went back to his old 2nd division team in Barbados and he played cricket there. And he and his mother lived 150 meters from the cricket ground where we used to train. So for Jordan, it's an emotional homecoming. For Archer, it's an emotional homecoming. For Jordan, who spotted Archer and brought him to England in the first case, so he's like the Bade Bhaiya.
Yeah.
He's taken him there. It's an emotional homecoming. But if you look down that side, purely from a cricketing point of view, the first thing that hits you is first left-hander comes in at 6 or 7.
True. Yep.
And it's not even like there's a Maxwell in there who sometimes becomes a left-hander. I mean, Salt can play that role, Jacks, everyone reverse sweeps.
Yeah.
But the first left-hander comes in at 6. So I just wonder, are they going to float Moeen Ali? Should they require? Because most grounds these days are not the center pitches.
Yeah.
So one boundaries will always be smaller. So that might just be a factor. That's the first thing I've read.
Also interesting, no changes. I mean, if you're thinking that Curran might come in because if it's a bit of a tacky pitch, he might be useful. But I think that's the thing that they wanted to say, that, you cannot make changes when you have not really given the side. You've played half a match and you're not going to change tracks on the basis of half a match.
They like the power of Livingston at 7.
Yeah, and such a change as well, right? Because we're talking about how it's changed from 2022, how England has kind of changed from that. And again, Sam Curran was there. He was like the crown prince, right? He was the MVP in that tournament, but doesn't find a place in the 11. Let's look at the Australia 11 and see who they are taking. Again, much like England, options galore in terms of all-rounders. And of course, Pat Cummins comes back in.
Oh, they've given that young man a chance again.
Yeah, they've given the young man a chance. It was really nice because Mitchell Marsh did a naughty when he said that the reason they didn't play Pat Cummins in the first game is he said, I just wanted to tell Pat that, oh, you're not playing this game. I like that. I like that. You can tell Pat Cummins that.
Yeah, just...
I don't have place for you in the 11. Sit this one out, buddy.
Yeah.
Sit this one out.
And make sure that you're the guy who comes out with the drinks, which he was. He was the guy who was coming out with the drinks, with everything. And it's
But there are no
fantastic.
egos like that. Remember Ricky Ponting stepping down from the captaincy of Mumbai Indians midway through the season and then carrying the drinks out.
Yeah.
So it's cool. He said, I'm not playing, so I'll help you. If I'm playing, you help me.
Of course, they are. It's fantastic. They're spoiled for choice there because Nathan Ellis, again, he's been a key performer for them. Nathan Ellis doesn't find a place there. Sam Curran doesn't find a place there. That's the kind of problem you want to have.
And Nathan Ellis actually played far lesser than I thought he would in the IPL. But he's a proper T20 bowler. He would make almost any T20 side. He's that good a T20 bowler. Yeah. But if they had to go to the Pakistan route, for example, and play 4 fast bowlers, because Cummins is good enough to bat up the order, but they don't want to do that because they always like their team to play to a certain pattern. The one thing you'll find with Australia is they back their players. There won't be any whimsical changes. They say, no, we back Maxwell. We're going to play Maxwell. If he can't find a run, we'll find a flight for him from wherever you can buy runs from. But we'll continue playing. We'll continue playing him. So they won't make too many changes. And they just back their players. We like Hazelwood. We like Cummins. If you look down that side and think of the date that none of us wants ever to hear the date again.
19th November. Sorry.
How many of those? Just Tim David didn't play that, and Matthew Wade didn't play that, I think.
Yep.
Otherwise, all of them played that game. There's continuity in Australia, and very often there's continuity in England, except that in England, across formats, there's no continuity.
Yeah, and talking about formats, this was Pat Cummins' third format, right, in a way. But when you look at him and you look at the way he's gone in the IPL especially, he's shown that when you're a champion, the format doesn't matter.
I mean, all of us are wondering whether if you picked him, you made him captain, then he has to play in the 4, but he justified it. Also, the kind of bowling he did, I think he's figured that out. And he's a very deliberate kind of person. He's a business management major, understands these things. So he sort of worked on it. This is T20, this is Test cricket, this is 50 over, and this is what I need to do. And I felt this is the first year he was serious. T20 was his target this year. When you set your KRAs for the year, I think T20 was his KRA this year.
So Saturday night, you're not allowed to talk about KRA. There are people sitting over there going, no, not today.
He'll enjoy bowling here because you look at the economy rate that he had, and he had a good season. Yeah. His economy rate was 9.27. That's 4 overs at this T20 World Cup.
Yeah.
By the time you score 9 runs.
That's true. That's true. Or 4 wickets, as is the case with South Africa.
It was 4 now.
4th, yeah. I think they're going to be all out by the time we're done with this show.
Yeah, I know. I think
what they're trying to do is they're trying to get it done so viewership is not divided. I think they're just saying, all right, let's get this done so that everyone can watch.
If Netherlands beat South Africa...
Again. Let's use the word again.
Again. And again.
Yeah.
Netherlands are the world's most generous side. They're constantly doing other teams a favor by beating South Africa.
Yep. Pakistan, they live on Netherlands' wins, basically.
So they're not generous to South Africa, basically. They're generous to everybody else except South Africa. Okay, let's talk about the openers. Well, let's talk about the England. They are chasing, but let's talk about Jos Buttler first, because the thing is that that the food is delicious, but the service has been a little slow. Off late, hasn't it?
Off late, but Butler's playing the one side that he loves playing against more than anybody else. I was just looking up some numbers before I came. Versus Australia, 15 innings, 445, 150. In his last 7 innings,
it's 100 or something.
He's averaging 100 and striking at 184.
Yeah.
And his head-to-head against each of the 3 fast bowlers is incredible, especially against Starc. Against Starc, he's averaging well over 100, striking at 190. Yeah. So he's up against a team that he loves playing enormously. But, and there's always a but at this year's T20 World Cup, in these conditions, you don't know what to expect.
He is obviously proper champion, proper pedigree.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, it's only time, right, before you get what you have been used to getting from. I think he spoilt us by giving it in every game.
Correct. Normal service has to resume soon. And these guys, they respond faster. And I
He got runs against Pakistan.
Yeah, he got runs against Pakistan. He got runs against Pakistan. He got runs against Pakistan. I think he is in form.
Did you say normal delivery has to be resumed?
Normal
service.
Oh, I thought it was normal delivery because he just had a third child.
Yes. So wow. That's what he went back for.
Yeah.
That's the good luck then. But if you look on the other side, you look at David Warner, because David Warner, it's a bit of a curious case over there because you see all the other batters, strike rates, form that they're operating in, joy is completely different. With Davey, obviously there's no surprise or no secret that he's closer to the end of his career than he is, perhaps to the middle even. But is this now the anchor role that Australia needs? Is he going to be playing? Is the anchor back in this World Cup?
There's this famous Sherlock Holmes thing. This is the curious case of the stud in the daytime.
Okay.
He can't be the horse in the night, dog in the nighttime, the stud in the daytime. Oh, wow. No, he's not. So
the Hound of the Baskervilles?
Yes, that's right. No. It's Silver Blaze.
Oh,
Silver Blaze. So everyone asked
you could have left me 2 seconds.
It is also a Mark Haddon book, by the way. Curious Case of the Dog in the Nighttime.
The dog that didn't bark.
Yeah, the dog that didn't bark.
That's right. Yeah, it's Mark Haddon actually wrote a book, which is a play that I've actually seen on the West End.
How desperately Gaurav and me are trying to show that humko bhi kuch aata hai.
नहीं sir, मैं जाके play देखा West End में. It's won. Did it win the Booker? Did that book win the Booker?
I don't know if it won the Booker, but it's a fantastic book. Yeah. It's about an autistic person.
That's right. It's a brilliant book.
Very, very special book. So no,
history, literature, culture, sometimes cricket.
Yeah, but see, what I'm saying is, all I'm saying is, this actually suits him. Yeah. And I'll tell you why. Because I don't think he's any longer firstly, that 150, 160 was his peak.
Yeah.
At his peak, he was a 150, 160. He was never a 180 bat. Okay? At 150, 160, he's an IPL great. But I think today he can give you that 120, 130. But this tournament may be a tournament where that's what you need. And I think that's a great thing for him.
Yeah.
That if this had been played on surfaces where 200, 220 were the norm, perhaps he was not the best servant of Australian cricket at that point in time. But given what the surfaces are now, here, he's actually very useful for them. I think the 50 he got last time.
Exactly. We saw that in the previous game as well. Harsha, does him being there kind of just give license to the other guys to go even harder?
I think he's the wild young kid who's now the parent. and who's now telling the kids to do everything that he didn't do himself.
Yeah.
So he'll play a certain game. It's almost certainly his last series. He's finished with Test cricket. I think he's finished with one-day games as well.
Yes.
So the thing is that Travis Head is not in the greatest of form. So if Travis Head gets out quickly, Marsh gets out quickly, they actually need Warner to play that kind of innings.
Absolutely.
And with his experience, he'll pick up very quickly, whether it's a 140 game, it's a 160 game, and he can adjust his game accordingly. So, and he's got all the shots, by the way. He can pull them out if he wants. But yeah, that experience will come in very handy.
The good thing, of course, for them was Marcus Stoinis again. So they've just the options that they have in their batting in terms of sheer power just makes them really dangerous. Though even if three of them have an off day.
Correct.
I mean, with Glenn Maxwell, you don't know whether he's going to play one ball or 20.
Yeah, and then you have Mitch Marsh, who's probably the most destructive T20 batsman batting for you at 3.
And West Indies is where he sort of bloomed, didn't he?
Yeah.
What was that? 3 years ago? 3 years ago is when. Yeah, 2021 is when he kind of bloomed over there. So just a lot of big hitting options there for them. Do you feel, though, that England perhaps have just a little more variety in their bowling than Australia?
They do. But if you look at that England side, other than Archer, and Archer can go some days too, on a good track, all of them can go for runs.
Yeah.
But those are 4 quality bowlers. Then they've got Moeen Ali, they've got Liam Livingstone, they've got Will Jacks. Australia too similarly are playing 4 bowlers and they're backing Maxwell and Stoinis to be the 5th bowler. So to that extent they're similar, but they've got a leggy and an off-spinner in Moeen Ali and Adil Rashid.
Yeah.
By the way, Adil Rashid and Adam Zampa are 2 completely different bowlers. You look at them and say wrist spinners.
Yeah.
They're 2 completely different bowlers. One is quicker, doesn't turn the ball, attacks the stumps. I saw a stat which said 33% of his balls hitting the stumps. Adil Rashid, not a single one.
Yeah.
Because he's the guy who tosses it up. He's a very clever bowler, Adil Rashid.
Yeah.
So, and I think he's a key to that attack. Yeah, so mota, yes, they've got a little more variety. It took a long time to agree.
But that's fine, that's fine. And they also have 2 bowlers. We forgot they've got 2 bowlers in Liam Livingstone.
Yes.
Yeah, he can do.
And they like
You just
that.
open the door, shut the door.
He's
open
like
the door.
Sachin, right arm anything.
Right, I like that. Right arm anything.
But my point is that you're talking about this England bowling attack with variety. They went for 19-10 versus Scotland.
Yes,
so my point is this England bowling can go.
Yes.
And their bowlers in Australia's side, like Hazelwood going is a rarity. You know, he has that metronomic kind of length where he's just pegging away. And these pitches might just be the kind of pitches that suit it because there's enough juice there for you. You just do your thing and let the pitch do the rest.
Just this one. Metronomic?
Yeah. Metronomic. Yeah.
तो समझा दीजिए थोड़ा कुछ.
मैंने एक जैसा एक बार like that
So
8 a.m. like the 8 a.m. metro that keeps coming all the time, but it's GK, not Sayami. Otherwise,
So metronome is what you use to tune things. Right? It gives you a certain frequency which stays.
Okay,
So then you put all your things, you adjust all your frequencies to that.
Okay, so what you're basically saying, what in Hindi is called same to same.
Same to same.
That's what it is. Right? Same to same. ठीक है. Just I am the.
but
conduit.
Hazelwood is same to same only.
Yeah.
He gets up in the first. He's like McGrath. First ball in the morning, he'll hit a length. Last ball, he'll still bowl at the same length, same pace.
Now that you have said Glenn McGrath, every cricket fan has understood exactly what metronome is.
Correct. वो बाटा का जूता 20 साल से वैसे के वैसा ही होता है ना, वैसे ही है.
Exactly.
Yeah. अब थोड़ा confuse हो गया. पर आदिल रशीद.
कैसे अब तक नहीं हुए? I don't know. With the joy in form.
Sir, because when you said Bata ka juta, everyone got really confused what that is because that was very long time ago.
Yes.
So when England-Australia rivalry started, people used to wear that to their school. So that's what happened.
Correct. Because you make fun of me singing songs from the 50s, I brought out shoes from the 50s.
There's a museum in Canada.
Yeah. I've been to it.
You've been to it.
What a beautiful, excellent museum.
There's a Bata museum or a
Bata is a
50s?
Canadian brand.
It's a Canadian brand. It's not Indian.
No, I knew it was an
Thomas
Indian, but I
Bata.
thought
He's
it was
Czech.
Scandinavia ka mamla tha.
Czechoslovak.
It's a Czech brand.
Yeah, but
oh,
it's
Canadian.
very big. Czech brand, very big in Canada and India.
And there's a museum in Toronto. Yeah.
Wow. I'm genuinely impressed because I didn't know that. I thought it was somewhere Scandinavian, but there you go. The Bata shoes that your great-grandfather wore to school.
That is unfair.
Grandfather,
Maybe
okay.
not necessary.
Okay, fine. Grandfather wore to school. The Bata. Just say it to your grandparent and see how their eyes light up. Tell them that there is a museum in Canada, in the city in Punjab called Toronto. Right? City in Punjab called Toronto.
Toronto.
It's over there.
एक ही टी है उसमें.
Toronto.
Toronto.
Toronto. That's how you say it, Toronto. All right. Sir, next two do you want to talk about? There are many players on both sides. I really want to talk about Glenn Maxwell because I just want to say that everybody will say that Glenn Maxwell again got out. But that catch that he got out to, we have to say it was not his fault. So that catch was spectacular.
No, absolutely. And you have to give it to him. Look, what I like about him is that they back him because they literally can carry a player like Glenn Maxwell with 10 other players covering for him for that one day where he'll perform and blow everyone away.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they do. They pick him as a match winner, he's their X factor.
Yeah.
And you don't know what you're going to get out of him, but the day you get something out of him, he can change the game.
Yeah.
And Australia's got enough all-rounders so that they can cover in batting and bowling, they can cover for.
So the last 15 games, Glenn Maxwell's scorecard or his performance has been like a Chinese New Year banquet. There's a lot of ducks, right?
Do you want me to fill while the two of you are laughing?
I can't. He laughs and I laugh. We've got this.
It's like reminds me of this friend who talked about a very plump gentleman and said he has more chins than the Chinese telephone directory. Sorry.
Cancelling, sir. Cancelling. But it is factual. The fact is, it's factual. It's not, it is factual. So we were talking about Glenn Maxwell, sir. If you want to add something which has a little more gravitas than the two of us.
Is there a single cut करना है यहाँ पे?
लाल हो गए वो.
Lost it. Joyce lost it completely.
He's become absolutely red.
मेरा नाम चिंचिन.
Become absolutely red. That's right.
But they will play Glenn Maxwell every time because when he comes good, he'll make 20 of 8 balls.
Yeah.
And very often a 20 of 8 balls can turn the game. He's normally absolutely safe in the field.
Yeah.
And even when he's not batting well, if this track, if they find कि कुछ हो रहा है वहाँ पे,
Him, the bowler.
he'll give you 3 overs straight away on that track,
but
and
he-
he'll bowl in the power play too if
But
required.
I'm just saying, him, the bowler, is so underrated. I'm almost equating him to, even though he's batting higher up in the order, you can almost equate him with Liam Livingstone, who sometimes you go, are they playing him as a bowler? Because they're batting him at 7. And they are getting,
I think better
the
bowler.
overs out of him.
I think better bowler than Liam Livingstone.
Maxwell is, right? More experienced, more effective. So, because I know that he's one of those love to hate kind of players, right? Where a lot of people,
Very
especially-
polarizing. Very polarizing.
very polarizing.
But he's in yellow now. He's playing for Australia. Maxwell of Australia is a very different
it's very,
beast
I agree, very
than
different.
Maxwell of IPL.
Very different, but he's got those ducks coming, that he's had in the previous games as well. But the thing is that he's worth his weight in gold. Yellow gold.
Absolutely. And see, that's my point, that big sides can afford to carry players like that.
Yeah.
And Livingstone, again, I feel he bats out of position because he's a devastating batsman. If you
Yeah.
see his record in the 100, everywhere, his record is absolutely superb. Just that this is such a packed England side that they
Yeah.
can't fit him in.
You-
But expect England to float him if they're going well.
Yeah.
If they're going well, expect Brook to keep dropping back. Brook is the guy they're going to play and say that, okay, the ball's now deviating. I need somebody who's really correct. What Joe Root used to do for their T20 side a long time, Brook is that guy for them now. Okay, somebody who plays proper cricket, is likely to hold his wicket, is likely to hold. If they're going and they're 160 for 2 in 15, 16 overs, Livingstone will go up.
I'm just saying, could they be looking at him for that role as well? Because there's Jonny Bairstow was the opener in the previous, was it the previous World Cup? 22 is when he was opening. Now they've got him as a number 4. Is he almost like their Ben Stokes now? Like, is the kind of the senior citizen? What's the role you see for him?
Because Buttler and Bairstow were their regular openers, and Bairstow rated very highly. At number 4, look, those numbers aren't hugely different where he bats. But Bairstow will bat the same way. He's batted these numbers in Test cricket. He's batted these numbers everywhere. Bairstow can bat anywhere, basically. So they're saying, okay, let's fix our team. Salt has to open. Jacks also can open, but he's fantastic at 3. They'll play with the freedom that the madness of youth possesses.
Yeah.
And then they've got Moeen, Livingstone, Brook. So it really was Bairstow, Brook 4-5.
Yeah.
So it's a tribute to Bairstow that they've said, we still want you in our white ball side. Will you bat at number 4? If you say, will you bat at number 4?
Yeah.
Do you want to play the T20 World Cup? Will you bat at number 4? No one's saying no.
Yeah, true.
So he'll bat at number 4.
And his dad has also played in this test match here, right? And you had a story.
I've got a tie made by David Bairstow.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was a BBC Test Match special tie.
Wow.
Where I was doing radio commentary for them. And then they give you a BBC Test Match special tie.
Wow.
And the back said, made by David Bairstow. So when I met Jonny Bairstow, was some years ago, I actually showed him the tie. I said, look, here's a souvenir if you want it from your dad.
Yeah.
But yeah, so.
So when he saw that and his World Cup is being played and there's a match there in Barbados, he would have loved to come out here. And I believe, for me, he's a bit like Matthew Hayden. Big guy, he's an intimidator. When he stands out there and he walks down the pitch at you, he can scare bowlers. He's one of those guys.
And he's 1 of 7. He's 1 of 7. There's no pressure on him.
Yeah.
He's 1 of 7.
When Joy said he walks down the pitch, okay, Johnny, don't do that.
Oh, yeah,
Or if you do, don't miss the ball.
Yeah.
Don't walk down the pitch.
Or just after, after the ball you think is dead, don't walk out.
Walk down the pitch when the ball is being bowled to you. Don't walk down the pitch when it's with the keeper, all right?
And remember, like lines drawn between 2 countries, you don't just, that crease is not just an arbitrary line. It's there for a reason.
It's proper. All right, let's tell you what's happening in Barbados. Australia is going to be batting first. It was England who won the toss and decided they're going to chase. We'll show you the Australia 11 as well. There they are. Of course, David Warne and Travis Head will come out up front. Then Mitch Marsh, their captain, Glenn Maxwell, Marcus Stoinis, Tim David, Matthew Wade, Pat Cummins perhaps coming out ahead of Mitchell Starc. And there you go there. Bowler Starc, Zampa and Hazelwood. All right, we have the Joy Factor question. I can guarantee you it has something to do with either Barbados, the ties made by David Bairstow,
Or the sugar industry in the 17th century, 18th century.
could be that as well.
Sugar industry is a good one.
Could be that. Or about Bata shoes.
Bata
All right,
shoes.
let's see.
Bata.
Bring it.
Which cricketer has played over 100 test matches and captained over 50 but has only himself played under one other captain?
So it's no one from Pakistan. Because if you've played 100 test matches for Pakistan, you've played under 7 captains at least.
Yeah.
So you've played 100 tests, you've been captain in 50 of those, and there's only one other captain that you've played under.
That's it. Yeah.
I know it. I know this.
I think you do. I think Harsha also knows, but he's just not saying.
No, I'm also not saying it. I won't say it. Let people say it. Hashtag Joy Factor. So send it to us on Twitter. We'll, of course, give a big prize to the first person who gets the correct answer. And then...
This is embarrassing, Gaurav. We've been promising it for many years now. Since 2018.
Elections are over, so I don't know why I'm making promises that I can break.
The prize, a big Chinese wedding dinner.
That's right, a banquet with 6 ducks, perhaps. You never know how it goes. All right, our score guesses now. Barbados, Australia batting first. What it is going to be?
148.
Now we can sit in everyone's lap, so it doesn't matter. 160. Okay, fine. That's
If
not
somebody has heard
it just
that,
came out wrong. It just came out
if
very
someone's
wrong.
heard that without context, but
Why?
that's what it is. We can sit. We're very close friends. We're very close.
As in, there doesn't need
No,
to be
don't
a
explain.
difference.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
Don't explain. Leave
Just
it.
let
Leave
it
it like
hang in
that.
there.
Let people think this is how we spend our Saturday night. Yes, 148. You say
160.
160. आपको लग रहा है रन नहीं बनेंगे यहाँ पे?
रन है कहाँ पे?
वैसे सही बात है.
सीट्स की तरह कम हो रहे सबके.
इस वर्ल्ड कप में. That's right. And Nitish Kumar is not playing today. I would say I'll go 175.
If that happens, ICC will be the happiest.
Yeah, they'll be happy. 175. South Africa, meanwhile, at 28 for 4.
In 9 overs.
76 needed in how many?
60 or
67.
65, 67.
76 needed in 67. Ulta pulta. They'll win it. They can win it. They'll win it.
They have the batting. I mean, if somebody just holds on, they have a chance.
Yeah, but you can't hold on for too long.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Game will be over.
Babar has
All right.
That also can be taken out of context. I
Yeah,
want to know.
true. That's true. We're gonna go. We're gonna go for dinner now. Are we going Dutch? Are we going Dutch?
We are going Dutch.
We're going Dutch. All right. We're going Dutch. All right. That's all we have time for on Cricbuzz Live. We're going to see you at the end of the 10th over on the Combox. So do join us then. From Harsha Bhogle, Joy Bhattacharya, and Gaurav Kapur, the old friends. It's bye for now.